All right, let's just jump right into this title because, wow, it's a wild one, right? You've got the Planck length, this super deep, very real concept from physics smashed right up against something spiritual, the 5D upgrade. I mean, how do those two even belong in the same sentence? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack here.
But before we get there, let's start with a really fundamental question, one that people have been asking forever. Imagine you could just keep zooming in on reality, further and further and further down. What's at the very bottom? Is there like a fundamental pixel that makes up everything we see?
Okay, hang on to that thought, because this is where things get interesting. The whole idea we're exploring today suggests that going beyond that ultimate physical limit, well, it's not a journey you take with a microscope or a particle accelerator. Nope, it's an inside job. It's all about us.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to start with the science part first. Let's get grounded. First up, unpacking the Planck length.
So what exactly is it? Well, in the simplest terms, the Planck length is the point where our rulebook for physics just falls apart. The laws we know and love just stop making sense. It's this tiny, tiny scale where gravity and quantum mechanics are supposed to finally meet. You can kind of think of it as the here be dragons edge of the map for what we currently understand about reality.
And this number, I mean, it's just mind-bending. The crazy part isn't just the -35. It's trying to picture what that means. A 1 with 35 zeros after it. That's a staggeringly huge number. Now imagine taking a single meter and dividing it by that. It's so small, calling it microscopic doesn't even begin to cover it. It's almost impossible for our brains to even process how tiny that is.
And this is why it's such a big deal for physicists, you know? It's not just some random tiny number they found. It's a fundamental line in the sand. It's the place where they think gravity and quantum mechanics finally shake hands, where a theory of everything might live. And yeah, it's basically the closest thing we can imagine to a single pixel of our universe.
All right, so we've got our hard limit in physics. Got it. Now, let's see how this whole idea gets picked up and carried into a totally different world. We're making a hard turn here, from physics into metaphysics, to talk about this 5D upgrade.
And this is absolutely key, so let's be super clear. When we say 5D, we are not talking about another physical dimension, like you'd hear about in string theory. In this context, 5D is a metaphor. It's all about a different state of consciousness, a new way of seeing and being in the world. It's not about going somewhere else. It's about changing how you are right here.
And this comparison really lays it out. The idea is that our normal, everyday experience, what's being called 3D reality here, tends to be run by the ego, right? It's often based in fear and this feeling that we're all separate individuals. The 5D consciousness, on the other hand, is the total opposite. It's about leading from the heart, operating from a place of love, and really feeling that deep sense of unity with everyone and everything. Okay, so we have these two totally different ideas on the table, a hard limit in physics and this higher state of consciousness. So how in the world do you get from one to the other? And that brings us to the central metaphor of this whole thing, the idea of a currency. And here it is, plain and simple. The proposition is that to travel beyond the Planck length, you don't build a better microscope. You don't use a spaceship. You use inner work. The price of admission for this journey isn't money. It's profound personal transformation. It's about changing who you are from the inside out.
So, what does this currency actually look like? Well, it gets broken down into 5 key qualities, or data points, as they're called here. You can think of these as the actual, coins and bills you need to make this shift. So, let's go through them one by one. First on the list, unconditional love. And we're talking about something way bigger than just liking someone. It's a fundamental shift in perspective. It's about seeing that deep connection and value in all beings and letting that kindness guide what you do. Currency number 2 is unity consciousness. This really flows from the first one. It's that deep, gut-level knowing that the whole me versus you thing, it's just an illusion. That at the most basic level, we're all just different waves in the same ocean.
All right, number 3, transcending the ego. This is all about becoming the observer of your own mind, noticing those patterns of judgment, of fear, that constant need to control things. And it's about actively choosing to let those patterns go, to find what's more real and authentic underneath.
Number 4 is a big one, personal responsibility. And listen, this has nothing to do with blame. It's the opposite. It's about empowerment. It's about realizing that you're the one in the driver's seat of your own inner world. It means taking complete ownership of your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions. And last but not least, we have number 5, high vibration. Now, vibration here is just a way of talking about your overall energetic state, your mood, your emotions, and this is something you actively cultivate, through things like practicing gratitude, focusing on what makes you feel good and empowered, and consciously choosing your thoughts.
All right, let's take a step back and look at the whole puzzle we've just put together. We started at the tiniest, most fundamental level of physics and ended up talking about the vastness of human potential. So what does this all really mean?
I mean, this table just nails it, doesn't it? It connects all the dots. You've got the Planck length from physics acting as the symbol for the edge of the physical world we know. Then you've got 5D consciousness from metaphysics representing what's beyond that edge. And finally, the true currency from spirituality, well, that's the how. Those are the inner tools you need to make the jump.
So, really, this is the whole point. It's all about the power of metaphor. The source material isn't saying this is literally science. It's taking a hard, defined limit from the physical world and using it to shine a light on something incredible. The fact that our inner world, our consciousness, has no such limits. Our potential to grow and transform is literally infinite. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on, right? If the absolute smallest thing imaginable can be used as a metaphor for breaking our own inner limits, what else is out there? What other huge ideas from science? I'm thinking black holes, quantum entanglement, the expanding universe. What if those could also be powerful ways to understand our own potential for growth? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.